Shalom, giving all praises and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakodash, double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone at Ruwal, and Shalom to the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. I'm the brother Caleb from the Dumas UK London Forecasters Camp, back with another lesson to help edify those of which I spoke of. And I just want to talk a bit more about this ongoing situation in Los Angeles, where the firefighters are battling to contain a monster inferno as the death toll rises. And for me, this is just beautiful to behold because, this is like a glimpse into America's future as pertaining to Bible prophecy. I believe 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, speaks about, actually, let me get it rather than roughly paraphrase it. 2 Peter 3 and verse 10 says, "But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening unto the coming day of the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness." So, when you understand these verses, and you understand the intention of the Heavenly Father and the judgment that is going to proceed on Babylon the Great, which is America in the Bible, you've got to ask yourself, why on earth would you want to make it in this world? Because a lot of, so-called successful people live in that area in LA, and they've, built their wealth and their fortunes, and they were enjoying their prosperity, and they thought that they were good, but they didn't realize that in a moment, everything that they earn could be burnt up. 1 minute you've got it, the next minute it's gone, just like that, all up in flames. So why on earth would someone want to sow into a world where everything is, uncertain? You could have riches today, the next you could lose everything and be broke poor. That's not what we of the hopeful elect are working for. I quoted in 2 Peter, the 3rd chapter, where it says, "We're looking for a world wherein dwelleth righteousness." Well, the reward that we're going to receive in the kingdom of heaven is never going to fade away. Moth and rust is never going to corrupt it. Thieves aren't going to be able to break through and steal it. And the Most High is not going to have it be destroyed and consumed in flames. It's going to be an everlasting kingdom. And there you'll be able to rest. Because here, when you acquire things, you end up losing sleep because you're worried about, if you're going to lose it, someone's going to come and steal it. The Most High could have a, earthquake, tsunami, a fire, and any of these, tornadoes, anything that could come and, destroy your home. All these things can happen, but, the people of the world, they don't consider these things. They don't really take it to heart. That's why, when these destructions take place, everybody's left looking dumbfounded. Now, whether or not your house in LA survives this fire, it doesn't matter if your home wasn't touched by this fire and you've still got, your wealth and your car, and all the possessions in your house. What people need to realize is that this is just a prelude of things to come for Babylon the Great, because the whole of America is going to be on fire and there ain't going to be no escape. You're not going to be able to take your riches on your possessions and flee from Babylon the Great. No, man, it's all going to get burnt up. As what I read just a moment ago in Second Peter, the third chapter, the elements being melting with fervent heat, the earth and the works therein that are therein being burnt up. There's not going to be no saving those riches and carrying them into, the kingdom of heaven. It's all going to be burnt. We can't take anything with us. Anything we can take, or the only treasures that are being laid up, is, the reward for the works that the elect are doing on this side. The hopeful elect. The reward for the works that the hopeful elect are doing on this side. That's what's going to be carried through into the kingdom, and that's why the elect are going to receive the hopeful elect are going to receive. Well, I should say the elect at that point, because they'll be confirmed. They're going to receive their reward for their sacrifices that they've made on this side. And we've sacrificed things, man. There are brothers who may have had opportunities to do certain things, and they turn them down for the sake of this truth and for this ministry. We've all lost things on this side, no matter how big or small. There's all things, every brother's got their personal testimony of situations, maybe even people, loved ones that they've lost for the sake of taking a stand for this truth, for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and for his ministry. And it's not that I can only speak for myself. So I can only speak for myself here, but it's not that we look back on those things which we forsook with any type of, deep felt regret or, how do I say, remorse? I don't know if remorse is the word to use. Forgive me, I'm trying to find the right word to use. Like, at the end of the day, we chose Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai over the things of this world. And Lord willing, brothers aren't looking back with regret at the things that they've sacrificed or given up for the sake of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Because the scriptures do say, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom. Because if your heart is with those things that you forsook and you're looking back with regret for having given them up, that's a very dangerous position to be in, because your heart's probably more with the people of the world than looking towards the future that is promised to us if we have the faith to believe it. And that puts you in a position of being like Lot's wife. She looked back when she was commanded not to look back at Sodom and Gomorrah, because her heart was still with that city. She wasn't able to follow the commandment and, just run and don't look back, focus on the future. She was there looking back, and what happened to her? She got turned into a standing pillar of salt. So the scripture, when it says, remember Lot's wife, let me get that. Hang on. I don't want to just roughly paraphrase precepts. I want to pull them out for edification's sake. Bear with me for a second. Luke 17 and 32. This is a very simple scripture, but it's very deep. I remember when I first read this one, Luke 17 and 32, it says, remember Lot's wife. When I was first coming into this truth and I read this scripture for the first time, I, at the time, read this and I thought that applies to women, for not following orders. And that's an admonishment, if that's the word to use, for women who, don't follow orders that are given. Remember Lot's wife. She was disobedient. She got destroyed. But as I got a little bit more deeper into this truth, Not that I'm on any deep level. I'm still a very young brother myself. But as I got a little bit more older in this thing, matured a little bit, I then realized, hang on a minute, this scripture's not just talking about women, man. This applies to men too, because it could apply to myself. And in the reason why I say that is because of it in the context that I just gave. If there's things that you had in the world that you've forsaken for the sake of this truth, and deep down you're holding some kind of, you know, upset or resentment for having given these things up, and you're looking back at them with longing, then you're essentially in the same position as Lot's wife. You know, and that scripture does apply to men too. It applies to us. Remember Lot's wife. What happened to her? She was told to flee Sodom and Gomorrah and don't look back. But she looked back because her heart was still with the city. And what happened to her? She got destroyed instantly, turned into a standing pillar of salt. Right? We don't want to be in that position. So we need to remember Lot's wife and not fall into that same position, you know? Now, going back to what I was saying about these wildfires, I mean, it's such a interesting thing to observe, because again, it's like a precursor to the fate that's gonna befall the whole of Babylon, the fate that's gonna befall the whole of Babylon the Great. You know, the whole country's gonna be on fire like this. And when I look at stuff like this, it just, you know, it's inspiring that, you know, no, the Most High doesn't do anything by coincidence. You know, everything is perfectly orchestrated by the Most High, and He's set up at the beginning of 2025 this situation with all these celebrities and, you know, all these well-to-do people in Hollywood, in Babylon the Great. They're losing all their shit, and it goes to show you that we shouldn't really be following after the ways of the world or desiring the rewards that come from being in the world, because in the instant, in the blink of an eye, it's all going to be burnt up. Now, as I said, there are certain people whose houses might have survived and not been too affected by the fires, but that doesn't change anything, because the ultimate end of America is that the whole country is going to be on fire. So whether or not your house got burnt down at this time right now, it's still slated for destruction. You know, it's still going to end up in this state. It might not happen at this moment, right now, in this particular situation, but its ultimate end is to be burnt up with fire. So, you know, all these celebrities that are working for their corruptible crowns, you know, this is their lot. This is their consolation. And I've got some precepts on that. They've got their consolation, and we're going to have our reward, Lord willing, we endure to the end. And that's to have incorruptible crowns, riches that will never fade away. This is I want to read Luke 6 starting from 22. Luke 6 and 22 says, "Blessed are you when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake." So, you know, some of us brothers have had to endure that, you know. When we took a stand for this truth, people of the world took a stand against us because we were no longer of the world. We came out of the world. And, you know, when you do that, the world hates you. The scriptures say, if you were of the world would love his own. But because you're not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hate you. You know, because we don't sing to the same we're not dancing to the same tune as all these people out here. You know, we're dancing to the tune of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and we're longing for a world wherein dwelleth righteousness. Whereas these people, they love the corruption and the wickedness of this world, and they want this world to continue and go on forever. This is, you know, they're happy here in hell, because this is, you know, this is hell for the you know, the Israelite man. You know, but they love it. You know, The Edomite man's heaven is the Israelite man's hell. But some of our people have become so accustomed to the hell they're in that they don't know anything better, and they don't desire anything better, so they just, make their lot here. But let me read on. It says, verse 23, rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is great in heaven. See, for in like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. So our reward is in heaven. There's a term called deferred gratification, which is something that is the mark of a real man, really. If I can dare say, a stoic man. He'll be very much accustomed with deferred gratification, whereas the opposite of a stoic, which would be, was it an Epicurean, someone who's a lover of pleasures, they don't really exercise deferred gratification. They want it all now. But the Most High in dealing with the elect has got us on the deferred gratification, because our reward isn't coming instantaneously. We do this work, we do these videos, we do our best to teach this truth, but we're not receiving our reward straight away. In a lot of times we're receiving evil for what we do. People speak evil of us for what we represent, stand for, and say, but our reward is going to come in the kingdom. And that, to believe that, takes faith. And that is a prime example of deferred gratification. And that's what the Most High is dealing with, because it takes a very strong character to keep doing that, even though the reward has not yet presented itself. And also it takes faith to believe that the reward is going to come. And that's what the Most High is looking for. He's looking for faith ultimately. And we express our faith through our works. So not to get too distracted, forgive me, I was talking a bit. Let me get back to the scriptures. It says, I was at verse 24. And this is the point. Luke 6:24. But woe unto you that are rich, for ye have received your consolation. Woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. This is what these people in LA, Hollywood are experiencing right now. They were rich and they'd received their consolation, and they were full, but now they're not, because they're losing their homes. They'll woe to you that laugh now, for you shall mourn and weep, because they, a lot of these people have sold their souls to get certain, benefits, positions. Like these celebrities, they sell out, to get certain perks and privileges in Esau's kingdom. But guess what? They can lose it in an instant, which is what is being demonstrated here. And ultimately, they're going to lose it all when Yahushua returns anyway. So what was it all for? It was all vanity, all for nothing, because it's not going to be, it's not transferable wealth into the kingdom of heaven. Verse 26, Luke 6:26, woe unto you, and all men shall speak well of you, for so did their fathers to the false prophets. There's another precepts I want to get. This is Matthew 16:26. Matthew chapter 16 verse 26 says, for what is a man profited? No, is that what I want? Let's start from 24. Matthew 6:24 says, then Yahushua said unto his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. And that goes back to what I was saying before about not being in the spirit of Lot's wife. She didn't just deny herself. She was told what not to do, but she still chose to do it, and she reaped the reward of it, which is to be destroyed. Because she didn't want to follow the instructions which would have led to salvation. Now we follow. Now us of the hopeful elect, we follow Yahweh Shai in the hopes of being led to salvation. He's the good shepherd. So what he says, the sheep follow, and they'll be led to their salvation. So it says, then Yahweh Shai said unto his disciples, this is Matthew 16:24, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself. So put your own thoughts, feelings, and emotions on the back burner, and take up his cross and follow me. Now, carrying a cross isn't a very pleasant thing to do. Yahweh had to carry his cross. But we have to do those unpleasant things. So we have to carry our crosses too. And again, if you're in that mindset of loving pleasures and being adverse to difficult circumstances and situations, you're not going to want to suffer the pain. But the pain is a necessary part of the growth that we experience in this truth. So we can't shy away from it. We've got to become accustomed with it. We've got to become accustomed with it and become, how do you say, not numb to it, because it's never going to fully go away, but able to bear it and endure it. We've got to be able to endure pain. We've got to be able to endure suffering. We've got to be able to endure hardships. And those are the marks of a real man. There's a lot of men who wouldn't want to deal with those things and run in the opposite direction. But for what we're called for, or what we're called to do, we've got to become accustomed with it. And at the end of the day, the pain that we go through isn't as bad as what Yahweh Shai had to deal with. We're being put through situations that, difficult situations, but we're not having to actually literally be crucified and hung on a cross for 3 hours out there. The Lord has had mercy. Yeah, we do go through our personal pains and problems, and there's brothers who have serious sicknesses which inflict a hell of a lot of pain, but within that, the Most High has had mercy. But not to get too distracted, let me stay focused on this precept. Lord willing, what I'm saying is edifying and making sense. Where was I? Yeah, Matthew 16:24. Let me get to the point. Then Yahushua said to his disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. Here's the point. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? So, a lot of those celebrities who have indeed given up their souls in exchange for wealth, riches, status, and all that kind of stuff in LA, it didn't profit them because they're losing it all in an instant. These fires are just tearing shit up, man. Look at that inferno. Now, what does it say? Let's read a bit of this article, then I'll close out. Just a little update on it. I mean, there's more things for me to say about this situation, but I'll save them for other lessons. Let me just focus on this for the moment. It says firefighters are making an all-out assault to prevent the largest of the deadly wildfires that is threatening Los Angeles from spreading into one of the city's most exclusive neighborhoods. Aerial crews have been bombarding the flaming hills with water and fire retardant to hold back the Palisades fire, which has expanded an additional 1,000 acres and is now menacing Brentwood. Officials have been on the defensive amid mounting anger at how hydrants ran dry as firefighters struggled to contain fast-moving blazes. Winds are expected to pick up again overnight. further fanning the flames that have left at least 16 people dead. On Saturday evening, the LA County Coroner's Office announced that 11 of the deaths were attributed to the Ian fire and 5 to the Palisades fire. That the National Weather Service warned that the gusty Santa Ana winds that whipped up the fires at the outset would increase again on Saturday into Sunday. 7 neighboring states, the federal government, and Canada and Mexico have rushed resources to California. LA County had another night of unimaginable terror and heartbreak. See, the elect aren't going to suffer unimaginable terror and heartbreak in the kingdom, man. Do you think our homes in the kingdom are ever going to be burnt with fire? Ever be broken into? Ever be destroyed by a tornado or an earthquake? No, man. We're going to have an everlasting kingdom, man. And, I'm sitting here with a smile on my face because thankfully, the Most High has blessed me with the faith to be able to believe in this, believe in the prophecies. And through seeing this, this situation play out, it's only confirming our faith. The Most High is going to destroy Babylon the Great with fire, and the elect are going to be delivered from it, and they're going to receive an everlasting kingdom, an incorruptible kingdom. So anyway, let the people who have sold out for this society, let them enjoy their reward for now, because it won't last. Where was I? LA County had another night of unimaginable terror and heartbreak, said Los Angeles County Supervisor Lindsay Horvath early on Saturday. Firefighters made modest progress against the worst of the infernos, the Palisades fire, which scorched nearly 23,000 acres and is 11% contained. But the conflagration spread into the Mandeville Canyon neighborhood, sparking evacuation orders for swaths of Brentwood, a ritzy enclave where Arnold Schwarzenegger, Disney chief executive Bob Iger, and NBA star LeBron James have homes. See, a lot of young Jake look up to LeBron. They want to be like LeBron James. They love to have his lifestyle. Well, guess what, man? The Most High's tearing it up with fire, man. And same with Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. He was big in the 80s, 90s. Big superstar actor who then later on became, governor? I can't remember which state or whatever, but they look up to these people as successful. Well, guess what, man? Now everything they own is being threatened by the judgment of the Most High, this fire. And this is the thing, as I said, man. If it don't get burnt down in this one, it's going to get burnt down when the nukes start flying. The intercontinental ballistic missiles, which are going to destroy Babylon the Great. Also in the evacuation zone is the Getty Center, a hilltop museum that holds more than 125,000 artworks, including masterpieces by Van Gogh, Rembrandt, Rubens, Monet, and Degas. Well, Degas, his name's pronounced Degas. The building is undamaged by fire so far. Again, these artworks, man. You got these, over here in the UK, you got the National Gallery, you got the Tate Modern, Tate Britain. In France, you got the Louvre. In Madrid, you got the Museo del Prado. All these art museums. Again, your National Portrait Gallery over here. You got all these art museums which house these artworks, and they're all, these things are esteemed to be worth, millions, but they can all be lost in an instant by fire. All in an instant, it can go up in flames. So what are these things really worth? What's the point in laying up treasures on earth where moth and rust corrupt, man? What's the point? It's vanity. Ecclesiastes talks about, vanity of vanities. Um, and we should be grateful that the Most High has blessed us with the ability to be able to recognize it as vanity and to, make better investments in a spiritual sense. Because what we're doing essentially by doing this work is we're making investments into a spiritual bank account, which we're not making the withdrawal from our investment right now on this side, but in the kingdom, the works that we do, the sacrifices that we make for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, they're going to be rewarded in the kingdom. And it's going to be a reward that never fades away. Let me get this precept, baby. I'll just find it. Pull it up here. I think I read this already, but the Spirit's leading me back to it. Let me bring it out again. I think I did read it earlier on, but it doesn't matter if we come full circle, because as Elder Apostle Gabar says, repetition is the father of skill. Matthew 16:19 says, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." So it's about a mindset, really. And it's actually quite difficult to forsake the things that we see with our eyes on this side of the world for the things that we can't see in an invisible kingdom. That it's not easy for a man to do that because, we're carnal and it's easy to live in a carnal sense. But when you become more spiritual and you start to exercise your faith, you're going to believe in the reward. And again, that's what the Most High wants. He wants faith. And he loves faith, and he wants us to demonstrate our faith. So that's what we do, Going back to the article, not much more to say, then I'll close out. Let me just read a bit more of this. Posting on X, it said that the site remains stable aside from a hotspots. Who writes these articles, man? They don't grammar check them. But it was that we are accurately aware of our gated neighborhoods and hope for their safety. The second biggest blaze, the Eaton fire, has razed more than 14,000 acres and was 15% contained. Firefighters have mostly contained two smaller blazes, the Kenneth and Hurst fires. No cause has yet been established for the fires. Well, the Most High done it. Shall there be evil in the city and the Most High have not done it? Let me get that one. Even if Esau is using his direct energy weapons, he's still doing it because he's been made to do it by the Heavenly Father. Bear with me, pull in a precept here. Bear with me a second, just finding the precept here. Yeah, this is it. I should have known this. I should have known this precept. Oldie but a goodie. One that the Christians fail to understand. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city and Yahweh hath not done it? That's the ultimate bad man lyrics right there. That's like saying, who else do you think done it? Of course it was me. You know, the Most High is not hiding from the fact that he does these things because he's the Most High. He's like, shall there be evil in the city and I have not done it? So the Most High is the one who is responsible for these fires. Let's just finish up this article and I'll close out. Forgive me. It says no cause has been established for the fires. The two biggest ones combined have raised an area more than twice the size of Manhattan. And this is how we're kicking off 2025. And this is how the Most High is kicking off 2025, man. How can we not but smile at these things? What's this video?
You got it.
Look at that, man.
Cutting it close, right?
See, we're being given a glimpse of what the future is, man.
They're gonna lose the hell spot. Yep.
America on fire. Babylon the Great burning.
Yes, but we're going live in 1 second. 30 seconds. Yeah.
And remember
45
the
seconds.
scripture says America's going to be destroyed in 1 hour. In 1 hour, man. So this is nothing compared to what it's really going to be like. But again, it gives us that vision, that glimpse. And fire is a terrifying thing. Fire is not something that is easy to witness and not be afraid of, man. Fire is very terrifying. And water too. Huge bodies of water when you see tsunamis and shit, man. But these are the elements that the Most High has at his disposal, at his command. Some for judgment, I should say. These are the elements that the Most High uses for judgment. He destroyed the earth before in the days of Noah with the waters of a flood. And this time it's going to destroy parts of the earth with fire. Some 153,000 residents are under mandatory evacuation orders, and another 166,000 have been warned that they may have to flee too. Political repercussions have begun. On Friday, Governor Gavin Newsom, a Democrat with rumored White House aspirations, ordered an investigation into why key reservoir was out of service and some fire hydrants ran dry. Los Angeles Fire Chief Kristen Crowley complained about the shortage. When a firefighter comes up to a hydrant, we expect that there's going to be water, she said. And this is interesting because the fire chief is a woman, and the scriptures talk about the woman not usurping authority from men. It says Chief Kristen Crowley has also attacked city leadership for cutting her department's budget and eliminating mechanic positions, which she said have resulted in more than 100 fire apparatuses being out of services. The LA Department of Water and Power has said that all the fire hydrants in the Pacific Palisades and LA's West Side communities were fully operational prior to the devastating wildfires. In CNN's reporting on Saturday, Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, another woman in charge, what a shit show this is turning out to be, who has been criticized for being in Ghana attending the inauguration of the African country's president when the fires erupted in LA on Tuesday, hinted at tensions with Chief Crowley. Let me be clear about something Bass told a news conference. The fire chief and I are focused on fighting these fires and saving lives, and any differences that we might have will be worked out in private. See, these women don't even like each other, man. But again, that's another video for another day. That's pretty much. Oh, wow, this is a good point. Um, fears are growing. Fears of looting grow. A sunset to sunrise curfew is now being strictly enforced in evacuated areas, officials said. Newsom announced on Saturday that he would double the number of National Guard on the ground to keep communities safe, deploying 1,680 troops. About a dozen arrests have been made, including for burglary, looting, and curfew violations. Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna said cadaver dogs are helping 40 search and rescue team scout these neighborhoods. The death toll is expected to rise once house-to-house searches are conducted. Here's the point I wanted to read. I'll close out because I've been speaking a bit. The fires were so intense that the wheel alloys on cars were melted into puddles of liquid metal. Yeah, boy, that's some intense heat for your ass. But the heat's only going to continue to rise. Rick McGaw, an estate agent, told Reuters news agency that in his Pacific Palisades neighborhood, only 6 out of 60 homes survived. Yeah. All that remained standing at his house was a statue of the Virgin Mary, idol. Everything else is ash and rubble, said the 60-year-old father of 3. Yeah, that's the end of the article. So, yeah, man, just meditating on this stuff with the spirit. The Most High showing signs that America's time is almost up. When we see these things, it should fill our hearts with joy, because the Most High is not unfaithful to not fulfill His word, man. He's bound by His word, and if He said America's gonna go up in flames, best believe Babylon the Great is gonna go up in flames, because you're not gonna see the word America in the Bible, but we know, through extrapolation and breakdowns, that America is indeed Babylon the Great, which is also known as spiritual Sodom in Egypt. So it's gonna be destroyed. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So back to my original point, lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where moth and rust doth not corrupt, and thieves do not break through and steal, rather than laying up treasures on earth, trying to make it in this kingdom, when everything in this kingdom is finite and uncertain, and can be stolen, destroyed by tornado, earthquake, hurricane, fire, you name it. This earth ain't it, man. This earth ain't it. So yeah, man, stay strong and stay focused, and Lord willing, we'll get to that kingdom, man, which is for us Israelites. It ain't for the other heathen nations. The kingdom of heaven is going to be ruled by us Israelites, man, and we're not going to be sharing that we're not going to share the throne with the other nations, man. It's for Israel, because that was our promised, birthright and inheritance to our forefather Abraham. So with that, once again, and that promise went through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Just to make that clear, not Abraham, Isaac, and Ishmael. Not Abraham. Not Abraham and Ishmael. Not Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. That promise and birthright fell upon Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob and his descendants, who are the Israelites. That's who we are according to the Bible. So with that, once again, Lord willing, that was an edifying lesson. Just speaking on this with the Spirit as I was meditating on it. So with that, giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bah Hashem, Yahweh Shai Bah Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of great most and that rule well. Shalom to the 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel and the rest of the elect destined to be saved. And I will Catch you in the next lesson. All dwelling. Shalom for now.